Welcome back to Beers and Breakevens, heading into round 5 of the 2026 season. An enormous episode coming your way, a heap to get stuck into. And of course, our final episode for our mate Timmy Williams. Welcome in.
What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
Huh?
What do you mean?
I'm so rattled.
What's confusing you?
Final episode.
Yeah, I'm sacking you
Why?
because I'm sick of you.
Because I looked after you last week.
No, look, our mate Timmy, he did leave Bloke in a bar this week, which has left me very upset that it wasn't this show he left. But no,
There it is.
It's been a big week. How you feeling, mate? A lot of compliments online coming your way, deservingly.
Thank you. Yeah,
Got a lot going on.
I was very thrilled with the feedback from certainly the bloke community and the comments on YouTube. Raps galore, except from you, who absolutely fed me a new one. But to be expected. No, good.
I am going to take a brief stint away from my full-time job of hating Timmy and just say congratulations, mate. It's been a big few years. You came onto that show at a time where we really needed a little bit of punch, and you provided for a very long time. Done a great job. So well done to you, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. A bit of like a
I'm going to miss you too. I'm not going to lie.
Will ya?
I am going to miss you. Yes. I am going to miss you. I'm lucky to have Matty Hammy and obviously Kempy still, but I am going to miss you, mate.
No, I appreciate that, mate. It was 4 bloody good years on the Bloke in the Bar podcast, and just being a part of that legendary community, and the size of it, the exposure, the people in it, and my the favorite thing I've done, hands down, since Playbook's kicked off and the Bloke community, and we've had all these great opportunities. We've done cool things like live shows at State of Origin and grand finals at the ground, which have been just phenomenal. The Bloke country tours with you boys.
Yeah.
Mate, for those people who don't know, there's probably a lot of listeners out there, but about 2 years ago now, we went to 4 locations across New South Wales and Queensland. I think it was like a Wagga, Armadale, Rocky,
and then Cairns. Yeah.
We had the best month.
We did.
Going around to pubs in the country, doing a live show, watching footy, drinking beers with locals. I'm like, I don't think when I was put on this earth, was to do that month of trips.
Well, whenever someone says to me, what's the best month of your life, I say April 2024. And Beck goes, oh, when we got married, I go, no. The 4 weekends before that were all fucking time. That was an enormous couple of weeks, wasn't it? That was huge. Matty's here as well. Welcome in, brother.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, you guys didn't have to do any of the work, so
correct.
It was a logistical nightmare having to do that all by myself. But it was
at least it was only 40 degrees in Rockhampton.
Oh, that Rockhampton. But no, it was that was probably the best month I've had here as well. It was just the funnest thing we've ever done, and I'm spewing we've never done it since.
I know. Maddie and I drove from Sydney to Armadale one day via Christchurch.
We couldn't have taken more wrong turns.
Yeah, I remember.
And there's only one road, and somehow we got lost 6 times.
Put it this way, we went on a 6-7 hour drive to Armadale, whatever it is, and we were on the highway for 0 minutes of it.
Yeah.
No, I remember sitting in Armadale for like 4 hours on my own, just waiting for you guys. And I'm like, where are you? Like, I haven't seen a light in 2 hours. I was like, mad. Love that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Congratulations on a fantastic stint, mate. It does free up a bit of time for you to come off the back fence for Beers and Breakevens, though, which has me very hot.
Mate, a big part of it was getting back to my roots, and that is SUPERCOACH and SC Playbook and Beers and Breakevens. And any nights where I've said we get to the stats deep dive and it's, all right, guys, not the deepest of dives this week and been a bit busy. I have no excuses because I've freed up my Mondays to just devote countless hours into it. And another big part of the decision to part ways with the Bloke podcast, in our draft league 2 weeks ago, I lost to Chad Townsend. And I just thought the alarm bell started ringing. I said big changes need to be made, and not to my SUPERCOACH team, like my life in general. So Chad was responsible, if anyone's asking.
Speaking of that comp, I also pounded in the arse of someone pretty shit this week.
Oh, Waterboy.
Yeah. Look.
Interesting choice of words. But
thank you. I had the first overall pick in that draft comp. Obviously went for Payne Half, so I hope he returns from injury soon. I also had Kalen Ponga, who he's not playing, so Yeah, it's pretty tough at the moment, but I am the only person undefeated still. So
You know what? I could sit here and say something smart ass, but like I really am in no position to do that. I had a full team. You had 3 players missing and you beat me by 150. And the worst part was, well, not the worst part, but like you vice captain Adam Dewey, and when I noticed that on Saturday, I texted you. I was like, "You think you're smart?" Blah 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 blah. And he didn't even respond until his next player, Matt Burton, got his second try.
Oh my God.
I was like, "Oh shit."
Well, I cleaned up Kat on the weekend and she didn't turn up, so fitting.
speaking of, I got one for you two.
Yeah.
Now, friend of the show, Kat Haddad, actually family of the show, Kat Haddad. I spoke to her today, as I do, and Kat occasionally has some interesting people that slide into her DMs.
I bloody bet she does.
No doubt. Now, we had a very, very interesting one that slipped in this week that we both, all 3 of us, are friends with. And I just want to give you guys a couple of guesses as to who slid into the DMs of Kat Haddad.
Please don't say the SC Spy.
It was not the SC Spy. Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
It's got a bit of Tom Tobler written all over it.
Nah, wasn't Tobler.
Podcast space.
Yep, sure. I'll even narrow it down to that for you. It was not Tobler. It was not the SC Spy, as far as I know. Any guesses? I have taken creative license with the turn of slipped into DMs, but someone that messaged Kat this week.
You've got me. I don't know.
No idea?
No.
Maddie, any guesses? This account, Bloke in a Bar, who did nothing
Interesting.
but send Kat a screenshot of the draft comp ladder and just said, "That's you at the bottom of the table." What a fucking drive-by.
Fucked.
We will we'll put the screenshot of that on the screen.
So wait, hang on. So
No, you heard correctly.
So Denon has First of all, it's a miracle that
Denon's
Denon's
opened his
gone
SuperCoach
onto the
app.
app.
Yes.
I didn't even know he had the app downloaded, but there we go. I don't know if this has been spoken about. Denon didn't even turn up to the Supercoach draft with a laptop.
He just with his dog and
Remember
bone.
he said to me, he was like, "Do I need a laptop?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he's opened his app that I didn't even know was on his phone.
Correct.
And then screenshotted it and sent it to Kat of all people saying, "That's you on the bottom."
That's you on the bottom. It's fucking hilarious.
Wow.
Screw,
He's monitoring it.
I'm glad you didn't waste too much time for it. I would not have guessed that in 1 million years.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm glad we
It's
didn't waste much time.
fucking fantastic. So yeah, wild times.
You want to know what Rue would be doing if he was in our position on that draft letter, Matty? And I know this because he's whinged about to me for years about his draft leagues. I'm third in it, so I'm going okay. Rue would go, "Oh yeah, but on points overall scored, I'm doing this year. I'm beating everyone. I just can't get any luck." To quote Guru the last 4 years.
I actually don't think I'm doing overly well in points. I think I'm lucky to be where I
hadn't
am,
noticed
but-
till just now. I'm first.
Oh, that's why he fucking brought
Matty,
it.
you're second.
Boom.
5 points behind me. We've got 100 points on third place in that league, which is Rue.
Okay, I'm doing okay.
You're beating up the easy classes.
So the top of the tree are literally all in this room.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah. So doing good things there. Unreal to see.
Supercoach draft extraordinaire Max Bryden. How many are in our league? 10. He's coming, 10th? Interesting.
Did he have his first win on the weekend, Max Bryden? I don't think
he's on 2.
He's on 2, yeah. His first win on the weekend for, just drafting like a scarf guy would, in my opinion. Just fucking struggling. Are you a scarf guy, Matty? Do you wear scarves?
Nope.
Thank fuck. Okay.
Wouldn't have shocked me.
I wouldn't have put it past Matty,
Really?
but I'm...
No, would be surprised, but I'd be like, City Wango.
It would have been it wouldn't have been the most shocking thing.
No,
Yeah, fair enough.
Have you ever worn a scarf? Have you ever indulged?
No, I've never been a scarf guy. Okay. I tell you what, I'm one of those people that there are certain things that just don't exist in my brain. Like for example, when it's raining, I have never thought bring an umbrella ever. I always walk outside and just cop the rain.
Matty,
Scarf's
I do the exact same. It'll be pouring and there'll be an umbrella sitting in the lounge room or something and I just cop it.
Yeah.
It's more convenient than having to carry an umbrella around all day.
I tell you who's a scarf guy, Cody Totes.
Yep, can see it.
Yeah, no shot.
And it would be obnoxiously big as well, I think.
Do you remember who my last pick was in that draft?
I'd be so disappointed in myself if I did, so no.
Surefire longer.
Oh, wow. That's a good pick.
Struth.
Mine was Eli Katoa. That's how cocky I was on the day. Haven't lost a game since, but that's fine. Yeah, right. That's a good little pick for you. Didn't help you on the weekend, but it's a good little pick for you.
It didn't help me on the weekend.
No, it did not.
It did in overall points, though.
The big one.
Speaking of
Like classic, we
overall-
play for overall points. We don't play for, yeah.
Speaking of, I scored really shit on the weekend, 1,145. I dropped 8,000 ranks over the weekend. I'm now coming 11,361 in Supercoach. I'm not stoked
Got to
about.
change your team.
I would have done better if I didn't change my team, to be fair. How'd you go, Timbuktu?
Good week, mate. 1,260, so a few green arrows. 27,000 overall, so making some moves.
Arama, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a very tough watch for me.
Delightful.
How'd you go, mate?
So I'll start at the start. I started the season really well and really well. And I was like, all right, hectic. I've had my years of coming through. I can really solidify my space in the Supercoach world. Since I had that thought, it has been nothing but horrendous. Now, I will say I've really focused on buying players that make money and really focusing on that instead of getting points, which I think has certainly cost me. But in round 2 to round 5 or 4, whatever we're at now,
Yeah.
I have scored in the 1100s every single week. Every single week, and I've dropped disgracefully. This week, actually I lie, this week I got 1099.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's not great.
And I dropped 19,000 spots. And it's just, it's too much. I've been focusing too much on getting these cheap guys in and trying to get everyone and trying to make money for the long term. But I've sacrificed too many points and I need to, this is the week to go. I think I definitely haven't left it too late, but I'm disappointed how far I've dropped.
A rugby league free fall.
Yeah, I thought I was past the rookie stage, but I think it's a bit of a rookie error. Not looking hard enough at points early on. I think I did come into the year, that was a mistake last year. I kind of did the opposite. So it was my focus, but now I've kind of stupidly realized that you have to find the balance, which I haven't done so far.
I'll say one thing. I sort of spoke to Matty about it and reassured him a little bit on the podcast, but when you chase cash early, you're going to take a little bit of an immediate hit because people that aren't chasing cash might go for the guns and stacking their team and doing that. They're not going to create the squad value. Now, how quickly Supercoach changes, I still think that cash generation is going to be easy this year. Squad value is going to grow pretty quickly. But, mate, all these gun cheapies from the first few rounds that were they're all flying, this a piece of piss, Setu 2 dropped. Moses Leo, delayed concussions, dropped. I don't know, maybe a bit of both there. Players injured, Couchman suspended for 4 weeks. All these gun cheapies, mate, all of a sudden not looking so gun.
I agree.
So, circling back to Matty, the fact that you've gone hard on the cash gen, it might not come as easily as we anticipated the last couple of weeks.
I spoke to him on the phone earlier today and he did mention that he's not in a great spot, but that response to my simple question of how you going, that's a rattled man.
Yeah, very rattled.
Well, I know that I have to go on both of your podcasts and I have to come up with some sort of excuse.
I like it. It was a fucking cracker. So yeah, that's our scores, everything. Some of us going reasonably. Oh, where are you ranked? Sorry, where are you now?
27K. Matty, you're 350. You're what? 53,000th. I think you're 350 points off the top 2,000.
Yeah, so
It's
not
very tight, mate. I'm 200. I'm not that far ahead of you. I'm about 250 points off top 2,000. 100.
Yeah.
More importantly, 128 points off you. The hooves are pounding.
Yeah, that was definitely a bigger
Good week.
lead last week.
That's pretty crazy how little points there are between.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Don't stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stress, but don't stress as much as you were.
If you have one of them weeks this week, Matty, and I know it's easier said than done, but where you check the score at the end of the week and you've had a cracker and you've got 150, 200 points on a lot of teams, bang, all of a sudden you're 18K next week and things are looking all right. Like, it's all good.
Well, I'm keen to check in this time next week.
Yes, very exciting. Cat's away for the next few weeks, doing soccer stuff and absolutely fucking flying and setting the world alight. So Maddie's actually going to be here for the next couple of weeks, which is exciting. Have the kid in. Hopefully the free fall continues.
Oh, jeez, I hope not.
I don't know.
We'll see.
There's something good on TV, but out my window there's like a literal train crash. Probably going to watch a train crash.
Yeah.
So
You love a train crash.
I love a train crash.
You do love a train crash.
I do. It's my guilty pleasure. As long as it doesn't involve me, I'm all here for it.
Timmy, like, don't you reckon Guru's the office gossip?
Honestly, the absolute office gossip. Loves a gossip.
You love me for it.
You have so,
Oh, we love it. And you always you just come every day with some of the juiciest shit of all time.
He's the one where it's like, mate, I got something to tell you, but like you can't tell anyone. And then Guru will be like, a day later, over to his best mate. I had to tell someone. You know you are.
I tell ya, if you want to come for the best gossip 20 minutes of the week, come to the 20 minutes before About Even's recorded.
I can only imagine.
That is like a review show within itself. It's good gear. Okay, our weekly winner for this week, you need to send an email to beersandbreakevens@gmail.com. We'll get you sorted out with a foosball. Timmy, who's our weekly winner, mate?
Snorting Hind,
Mad.
coached by Nathan. 1,524 points. Boy, that'd be nice.
Yeah, sounds like a winner, Nathan.
So, Matty, he went up 24,000 spots this week to 1,600. So, there you go.
Yeah. Send us an email, beersandbreakevens@gmail.com. We'll get you sorted, brother. We've also got our league code. Make sure you are jumping in there. $5,000 cash prize courtesy of Bluewealth Property. That will be closing over the next few weeks. Have you got the code there, Himothy?
968952.
Fantastic. Make sure you jump in there. Have we got an overall leader as it stands right now, Tim?
Undy Sauce, coached by Lamb. Second overall. First in our league.
Yeah, nice. Well done, mate. Unreal to see. LAM with a silent B. What are we talking about?
Adrian Lamb.
LAM. Very good. Love that. Also, guys, obviously we are still looking for sponsors to join for season 2026. So if you would like to jump on board, we've got plenty of packages and things open there. beersandbreakevens@gmail.com. Send us an email. We've got Magic Round coming up. A lot of exciting things. We've got some merch coming over the next couple of months as well. We're early days, but we will have a run of jerseys again this year.
Yep.
Do you want to tell them the theme behind this year? Or do you think we keep it under our
under
hats for a little bit?
Yeah, and just another week.
Speaking of, you don't have a hat on your head. Maybe we should get some hats over the next few weeks. Maybe we should try and get some hats to sell for Magic Round. Maybe
you love a hat.
I do love a hat. Well, I probably love it less now. But yes, I do love a hat. So maybe we should get hats, Beers and Breakevens hats for Magic Round. That are like corduroy and really fucking cool that I really like the look of.
Could be the first good idea you've ever had in this podcast.
It could be.
I like it.
Yeah, just a brain thought, but we'll see.
Brain
Stay tuned.
thought.
I love a brain thought. Businessbreakevens@gmail.com. If you're keen to partner with the show, we'd love to work with you. Reach out, please. Okay, shall we get into TLT, Timbo? All right. Kick off on Thursday night, Dolphins, Seagulls. Obviously, the Kieran Foran era has begun at the Manly Seagulls. When it comes to the Dolphins, no major changes here for them outside of Kurt Donohoe jumps onto the bench. So might see Maxi Plath spend more time at 13, potentially Donohoe play some hooker. Was there anything else you wanted to touch on from the Finns, mate?
Only that Supercoach posted today that Maxi Plath would get Jules after those round 6 changes, and Ryan Couchman's not getting dual front row. Which is a bit,
that's shit.
Yeah, he's coming on as a prop, right?
Yeah, I don't like that.
No. And it's hard to argue with because it's in the sense of, I don't know, that because then they just claim he's coming on as a lock and he's a 13, which is back row in there, because it's a little gripe I have with Supercoach.
I'm still of the belief, and I know it comes from the old F word over there, fantasy,
I know
edge middles. I'm very interested in it.
It just makes more sense.
Just makes more sense.
It's a bit of a let's get with the times, guys.
Yes, yeah. Yes. Get with the times. I like that.
Thanks.
Manly Seagulls. Clayton comes in on the wing for Jason Saab. No major other changes for the Seagulls. Essentially the same team that ran out last week. I think you've got Ethan Bullimore returns, or he was named last week, just didn't play. Anything there, Timmy?
Nah, nothing, mate.
Nothing. All right, let's move to Friday afternoon football, I should say. Good Friday football.
God, I love this fixture.
Yes, it is good gear, isn't it? It's pure rugby league. You going out to this one, Matthew?
I'm not. No. But I'll be watching it somewhere.
I thought you'd be there for sure.
I don't want to get bogged down, but
I feel like we're about to get bogged down.
I know what he's going to say.
I'm going to bog down.
there's just too many negatives to go to a core stadium when the Easter show's on.
Yeah.
I'm not built for it anymore.
Favourite Easter show food if you were there?
I'm from Coomaguru. Like, I'd been to it before, but I didn't grow up with the Easter show like you did.
Okay, sure. Okay, carnival food. Like, if you're there, what would you go for?
When you put it that way,
Right.
Dagwood dogs.
Dagwood dog? Yeah, I like that.
Freaking love Dagwood dogs.
Yeah, that's good.
Just
Matty?
dunked in tea sauce.
This probably doesn't count, but when I went to Disneyland, they were handing around turkey legs, and it was just delightful.
What?
I love how that conversation went from, I'm not from Sydney, I didn't go there. She had like
Turkey
Disneyland.
legs. That is so rare.
That is wild.
Also, Disneyland must be very
Yeah,
nice.
it must be nice.
It was a family trip in 2012.
Buxton's doing
We
all
don't
right for
have
himself.
families in Cooma.
Shit call. Shit misfire.
I don't mind a chip on a stick.
Oh, nah.
You did already take the best one. I wasn't going to copy you. You took the first draft pick.
Chip on a
I don't mind
stick.
chip on a stick.
I've genuinely never had one.
No, they're not bad. Sort of. You had a chip on a stick?
I don't think I've seen them, but I've never had one.
I reckon they're underrated. Go check them out. Rabbitohs Bulldogs. For the Bunnies, Campbell Graham returns on the wing. I'm going to diverse again. I was walking Wally the other day. And
There's this chip on a stick
as I
stand.
was walking down the street, you'll see it on socials this week, but I think it's the greatest moment of all time. I'm walking down the street and something like catches my eye on the road. I thought it was, those little like squares they have on the road that when your light of your car hits it, they shine things. I thought it was one of those. I was like, that's a fucking weird spot for that. Got up a little bit closer. It was a Campbell Graham bang football card that had like the reflecting shit on it, and the sun was just hitting at the right angle. I picked it up and I was like, oh my God, I am betting on Campbell Graham this week. Then I was like, fuck, they've got the bye. Then I was like, Campbell Graham next week. I was like, it's the Doggies. Their defense is so good, blah, blah, blah. He's the right winger going up against the left side. They're never going to score. 20 minutes later, the Newcastle Knights kicked off and Dom Young scored on the right wing in the first 3 minutes. I am loading up on that motherfucker for first try this week. Campbell Graham.
I don't think you get a better omen, right?
No, it literally
Yeah.
in front of me.
I think you'd be a fool to not get on it now.
Yes, you have to. You have
Like,
to. And
after hearing all that information,
right. Everyone come and join me. Campbell Graham, he's crossing this week. Outside of that, no Brandon Smith for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. That's about it for them, I think. Anything you want to touch on in that game, Timbo? Talis Duncan starting like he was last week. I think we're just waiting for Brandon Smith, aren't we, from a Supercoach point of view?
Yeah, I potentially would have brought Smith in this week.
Yeah.
But yes, I did see on Buy Round last week, he said that if required, he could have played in this game and could be named, etc. But he said he still had to go for scans. And like reading between the lines, I was kind of like, he's not ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when he does return, I'll look to make a move on him as well, I think. Might trade the best hooker in rugby league. Phoenix. Phoenix is the best hooker in
Got
rugby
even
league.
better looking over the weekend, didn't
Tell me about it. Okay, for the Doggies, their backline remains the same as last week. Forward pack's essentially the same. I think Sam Hughes returns and Harry Hayes are big in on the bench for them as well. Anything with Canterbury you want to touch on, mate?
Nah, very lightly, mate. I know it's so funny. Like, people moved to Stephen Crichton. He's one of the more traded-in players last week, which I found a bit weird.
Last week he was?
I had started the week before. Like, he'd started well enough, but all I'll say to those trading after the poor score, I get it. The talk of like having played a bit of 5'8" last week and the talk of him having trained throughout the preseason doing that sort of sweeping fullback role that he played a bit late last year. I don't know if I'd rush on it. The Dogs looking to shake up their attack. It looks like Crichton playing that role is going to be a big part of it. Just keep an eye on him.
Yeah, very fair. Panthers Storm, 8 p.m. on Friday night. This one's going to be a cracker. Panthers, essentially all the same except for Mitch Kenny's obviously suspended, the bird watcher. So Freddie Glassick, he jumps in at 9. I would assume, mate, with Freddie Glassick jumping in at 9, he'll probably job share with Jack Cogger. I would assume this means big minutes for Isaiah Yeo. And I think in these sort of games, they'll play him for big minutes anyway.
He'll be fresh enough, I'll tell you that much.
Yes, he will be. I mean, for all your complaining, he's got a try last week, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a good footballer. That's why I picked him.
Yeah, I think, yeah, okay.
Here's an early Tim stat deep dive. Isaiah Yeo last week played his lowest minutes since he became an NRL starter.
Yeah, right.
Filthy.
He scored a try.
Would have scored 3 if he stayed on the field.
What a fucking sook.
No, just on Isaiah Yeo. He's going well, making money, averaging 72 or something. A try assist last week, a try this week. Would love to keep him long term, but the fact that the Panthers, they're just going to keep getting these leads and they're going to keep giving him early showers. So, mate, genuinely fortunate that he has jarred the attack because the next 2 weeks, in theory, the Storm and Dogs will put up a bit of a fight and he gets bigger minutes, which I like for him. I was set on the playbook, but he's actually, when their run softens up after that, he's like an immediate sell.
I'm not convinced he'll play big minutes this week, to be honest. I reckon the plan will be, I reckon they're going to put the sword through him. I really do.
I'm with you.
I'm really worried about their edge defence, Melbourne. I think they've hardly been tested. I think the first time they got tested was last week and they got shown up. I think Penrith are going to go and flex some muscles.
You know, the only and literally the only one that works a little bit against that, just Craig Bellamy teams over the years. They've lost 2 in a row. He gets a response out. When was the last time they lost 3 in a row? Ever?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
He just get. I don't know if it was last year. It would have been last year because Penrith went terrible. The year before, or it might have even been late last year when Penrith were on a red hot run and Melbourne might have been battling a little bit, and Melbourne came out and beat them, and it might have been at the Panthers home game. They've done it a few times where you're like, oh, Penrith are going to pound them. Bellamy just knows how to get them up for this game. So, but yes, on paper, Melbourne looking a bit shaky, Penrith unbelievable. In theory, yes, but Bellamy and the Storm, they're different.
Yeah, they are different. I just, and I'll more than likely have eagle over my face once again with Melbourne, but this Penrith side just looks fucking unreal to me. Outside of that with Melbourne, not much else to really, with Penrith, nothing else to really touch on outside of the change at 9. Yep. When it comes to the Melbourne Storm, some big changes here. Obviously, Tui's out this week. Want to wish him all the very best. Nick Meaney comes back in the centres for Moses Leo. As you said earlier in the show, I think concussion symptoms, but it won't shock me if Moses Leo drops out of the side over the next few weeks anyway.
I think he was getting dropped from that team anyway, wasn't he?
It would have been him or Suolagi. One of them was going to drop out. I think there was every chance it could have been him. Outside of that, with Melbourne, nothing else overly relevant to talk about, right?
Nah, only that Howell's under an injury cloud, so Leo could actually come back in. But watch this space.
Yeah, the only other thing, I guess, with Nick Meaney back in, whether Harry Grant continues to goal kick or not. But if we get any idea of that, we'll let you know in subscribers.
I'd imagine Meaney kicks, right?
He's had a hip pointer injury the last few weeks, though. Yeah, so, I think it's likely Meaney kicks, but I reckon there's a chance Harry can kick for another week. Dragons Cows, 5:30 Saturday.
Just quickly, 2022 was the last time they lost 3 in a row.
Yeah. That's closer than I would have thought.
Same
as
actually.
a whole. Yeah.
3.5 years, still closer than I thought.
Still, yeah. Anyway, Dragons, they're having their third right winger.
Was it during Origin period, Matty?
So they actually lost 3 in a row twice that year. I don't know if you can, the last one was the last 3 games where it was the second last round, the last round, and then the Raiders knocked him out week 1 in the finals.
Yeah.
But they also did lose 4 in a row that year, and it was like round 16, 17, 18, and 19. So
Origin
it probably was
period.
Origin.
They lost 4 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Interesting. For the Dragons, they've had a change in the right wing. I think they've had 3 right wingers in 82 minutes of football. This is wild. Very harsh on Setu too, in my opinion.
As someone who had to play him in that game the week prior against the Eels, I'm going to say, He was one of the few out there having a crack. He had a ton of runs, was in everything. I didn't think he'd done that much wrong, but anyway.
I thought he was great in Vegas as well. He got
Mate,
really
under the
tested
high
that
ball,
night.
he
Yep.
was so good.
I think it was Fangai came on with about 5 minutes ago and dropped a crucial one as well. Like he swallowed every single one of them
Mate,
too. So
Burton bombs, and then honestly, and then you drop him, and then even look, I'm not Tyrell Sloan's biggest fan on the planet anyway, footy wise, and I probably wouldn't have really caught him in the first place. I probably give him far later chance. But even bringing Sloan back for one game, scores the opening try, and then he's dropped the next week. It's like, seriously.
yeah, what's doing?
Anyway.
Wild.
Yeah, it's your winger's fault that you're 0 from 4.
Correct. Moses Sully also returns this week. I thought they really missed him last week. King Tongia obviously gets his opportunity in the 6 with Flano injured. We want to wish him all the very best. Toby Couchman returns in the front row. Holangahu on the bench. I guess the biggest talking point there, Timmy, is Setu 2 from a Supercoach point of view.
Setu 2, and one that'll appeal to you, Roo. The footy brain in me, be it big or small, who knows, you be the judge. I think with King Tongia coming in for Flano, who, despite wearing the 6, as we know, pretty controlling, got a lot of good ball, Atkinson becomes the senior half in this team now. I think he will see a lot more good ball, which I think is also good news for that right edge and your man Val Holmes.
I sure as shit hope so.
You'd think so, right?
You'd think so. I have such little faith in this Dragon side right now.
I do too.
I don't know what to expect.
I held some faith up until last week, and then last week they just killed me.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking stuff. Cowboys, Tommy Chester gets a spot back.
Let's go.
I didn't expect this, did you? I thought Labour, after they fucking beat Melbourne, I thought he'd hold the spot anyway.
Todd Payton was so high in his praise for him to begin the season, so it doesn't stun me because of that. But, yeah, I mean, beating Melbourne, huge upset. Yeah.
It takes a lot to change a team that hadn't won and then beats Melbourne. And
shows, again, how hot Payton was on him the first few rounds. So, huge for super coaches.
Yes, enormous for super coaches. I desperately fucking needed it.
Why? Were you light on CTW or something?
He's not a CTW, he's a fullback, you dickhead. Next game. Titans, Bronx, late game, Saturday night for the Gold Coast Titans. They are essentially as they were named for last week. You got Lachlan Ilias in the halves, AJ Brimson in the centres. Cleese Haas starts in the front row this week with Mo Fodawaker dropped back to the bench. Outside of that, Timmy, not much to really touch on, is there here?
Not much, mate. I've already done it on the Playbook podcast, but I do feel obliged to apologise to the Beers and Breakevens listeners after he made a point of saying we were surprised Arama Howe was the 5th most traded in last week. He went quite well.
He did. Yeah, that was a dick move by you.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You were all in on it with me, so shut the fudge up.
Shut the fudge up is a huge ick, Matty. Yeah.
Turns out he's a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We did say a few weeks ago, like, there was, like, if it all went his way, he could have had 7 tries already this year.
Yeah. I mean, to defend ourselves, what we said was because it was the 6:15 p.m. game and the last game of the round, and obviously Paxton was on the bench, etc. at the time. Like, I think he was on the bench in 19 or something from memory. It was, if you're getting him in or you're playing whatever and he drops out come game day, you're stuffed and you've traded him in.
Yeah.
Didn't turn out that way, but it was not so much about his point scoring potential. It was job security. Anyway, he killed it. He ain't going anywhere. So
yeah, he's safe as houses now.
Yes.
For the Bronx, obviously some changes in the back line. Got the injury to Granderson. He drops out. Shibasaki gets his opportunity to come back in. Dean Mariner moves to the Sting. Jesse Arthurs comes in as well. Karapani got himself in a bit of Barney as well, so he's out. The forward pack. No changes outside of a 117 kilo, 194 centimetre juggernaut Payne Haas. We might hold off on Haas chat because I think we'll hear from Physio about him.
Right.
You okay with that?
That's fine, mate.
You're not going to get mad at me and fucking stamp your feet and carry on like a tit?
Tell you to get fudged.
Yeah. Hit him between the eyes. 5 p.m. 2 p.m. on Sunday.
Oh, the old 5 p.m. Sunday slot.
Do you know what I did? I read round 5 Sunday and said Sunday 5 p.m. Still dumb as fuck. Answer me this, you two. Why are the Warriors $2.40?
Oi, me and Timmy were talking about this before his show today. I was like, I love how animated Guru is about the price of the Warriors. Like on the Bloke show, you were like,
Did I already bring it up?
Am I missing something?
You
brought it up on the show.
That's bad.
Maddie made a point of telling me about how animated were you, so I'm stoked that you've brought it up against
That's
us.
Well, make sure you go and have a listen to the Sowie show this morning because I did it as well there. So
for what
I
it's
think
worth,
wild.
Maddie and I both agreed with you.
Yeah,
Stupid price.
Crazy. Okay. The Sharkies backline remains the same. It's essentially 1-17 for the last 4 fucking years outside of Britt Nicola. He is returning via the reserves there, not on the 6-man bench yet. You would assume he'll come in on the right edge and share minutes with Billy Burns Toast. Warriors. Taintel Picky at fullback, Chans in the centres. Still no Ali Leotawa. Played reserve grade last week. Will go round again there. I guess the big winner out of all this, mate, Mitchie Barnett with the injury. If you brought Jackson Ford last week, you weren't wrong, but you were more right than you should have been, which annoys me.
It's very annoying as a non-Jackson Ford buyer. But, I mean, we saw last week the minutes were still good, to be fair, but just the output was down.
Yes.
When you have an origin level rep come back playing in the middle, they're going to take runs off you as minutes build and match fitness builds. He scored 60. I think he loomed as probably a sell in coming weeks when he peaked. Mate, I think with Barnett out 4 to 6 or whatever is with that thumb injury, I think he's an indefinite hold. I think he's going to keep bashing out big scores.
Yeah, I'm very, very jealous.
Yes.
Knights, Durs up there in Newcastle on Sunday. Another one. I can't really figure out why the Knights are at 240, but anyway, I'm not going to ever share my opinion on that again.
They're playing the minor premiers.
You know the Raiders have won 1 of their last 7 games?
It's been a tough
Fucking
6
oath.
games.
Considering you didn't play a trial, it's been 1 of your last 7. Wild.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
guys suck. And the only team you beat was Manly, who suck.
Yeah, who you support.
We're going to win 3 of the next 5. For the Newcastle Knights, no changes in the back line. Fletcher Sharp named once again, which is good to see. Trey Mooney returns in the front row. You've got Harrison Graham in jersey 14. Outside of that, not much else to touch on with Newcastle. Harrison Graham, mate, our thoughts are that minutes are still going to be an issue for him. I think Phoenix is still the main guy at hooker there, despite Harrison Graham looking like Harry Grant whenever he steps on the park. I don't. And if you go back to the week, so against Manly, he had a blinder. The week after that, he didn't get on the field because they had HIAs and everything. That kind of says to me that he might be the man that is set to miss out if something goes wrong. So I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah, I mean, what's a man got to do to get some minutes? Looks unreal.
Aman couldn't do much more.
Nah, not even Kurt Mann. One of my favourite calls of all time. I was sitting there watching the footy with a few mates at uni, and Kurt Mann dived through for a try, and Vossi goes, "That's Kurt Mann, man." It was just so funny.
Vossi.
I remember Vossi had a good one. Do you remember the whole Joseph Kony situation?
Yeah.
And when he was this, I don't even know if
I'm
it
going to
was.
say like 2012.
Yeah, 2012. Well, I think it was Kony 2012. That was the whole
Yeah,
thing.
I think it was close or near to the Harambe era.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, what a time. GI ran away for an intercept try. It was actually his 100th ever try. And Vossi's like, he's harder to catch than Joseph Kony.
Oh my goodness.
He's a wild bit of gear,
That's
Vossi.
so
He's
good.
good, Vossi.
Your Raiders, Simi Sasangi remains in the centres once again. Josh Papali'i returns. Outside of that, not much else to touch on with the Durs, mate. Matty Timoko back on that 6-man bench to haunt us again. I'll tell you what, boys. And this is another, I yell at a cloud. It doesn't actually fucking matter in any way, shape or form. But fuck, I find it wild that this bench features Chevy Stewart and Matty Timoko, but no Dane Laurie. I thought Dane Laurie would be the perfect guy to have on your 6-man bench.
I mean, he literally covers both of their positions.
No, potentially at a higher click for both. Definitely for Chevy, in my opinion. And he wouldn't be that far behind Matty Timoko, I don't think, Dane Laurie.
Yeah, I'm a bit rattled now because he also covers the halves.
Yep.
Which no one on that bench does. No one in our forward pack does. No one in our back line does. Like, I think we're looking at if one of the halves goes down, Tom Starling shifts to 5'8", and Jaden Brayley comes into the halves.
Well, I would say if one of your halves goes down, Simi will go there.
Yeah, I'm okay. Even that's like...
It'd still be much easier just to have fucking Dane Laurie.
Why would you not have Laurie?
Yeah.
Great point.
Thank you. I make a heap of them. All right, next up, we have the Parramatta Eels and the West Tigers on Monday. Very, very excited for this one. Always a good game, this one. Joe Ash comes in at fullback for Iongi. Was Iongi owned by people? Was he any...
He started red hot. I don't think so, though, because he was very expensive. He was good last year.
Brian Kelly in the centres once again. Forward pack now reads Williams, Bolo in the front row, Smith at 9, Kelmer and Katoga on the edges, Dill Walker in the 13. Reading that bench, mate, looks like Jack DeBellin's still not going to get a jersey. I don't know how many fuckers have to get injured in this Parramatta side for Jack DeBellin to get into this side. But
a few forwards on there as well. What's Appa Twiddle play?
I believe he's a ball player.
Have to be halfback.
He's a very talented. I think he's played a lot of fullback, but he's just transitioned to the halves in reserve grade. Very talented kid. One to keep an eye on.
One of the great rugby league names as well.
I uploaded a thing a few weeks ago when Parramatta got pounded by Melbourne that a kid in reserve grade threw an absolute pill of a pass. I don't know if either of you remember it from Instagram. It was this kid.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
he's a talented kid.
I don't follow you on Instagram.
Oh, fucking bullshit. You bow at the altar of at Rugby League Guru, my friend.
I do rely on your collaborations. Thanks, Roo.
That's it with the Parramatta Eels.
He threw the ball. Is that what you're saying?
He threw a pill.
Right.
An absolute pill. I'm just trying to get back to the team list. West Tigers. I don't think there was anything major here, was there, mate?
Yeah.
The biggest news in Hammy's world, though, is jersey 22, Patrick Herbert. You would think Hammy's being paid per mentions of Patrick Herbert,
doesn't
mate.
he?
Absolutely, fuck. He spends more time talking about Patrick Herbert than his misses. It's wild over the last few weeks. And the Roosters are on the bye, so James Tedesco will probably score more points than he did last week.
Good decision. I forgot to mention, should have said top show, but good decision to VC him as well.
Yeah, it was good gear.
Very safe play. Worked out well for you.
Yeah, it did. I love the comments from people being like, it was raining, why'd you trade in Teddy? Because of fucking honour, motherfuckers. You say you're going to do something, you do it.
You didn't captain him.
I didn't. No, I didn't. But I had a revelation that hit me that was not that curly-headed fuck that I decided probably not the best thing to do.
Saved a few points, mate. Well done.
Yes. I watched that game. Hello Sport had a live stream and I just went in and watched it and I took my brother-in-law with me, Jack. Have I told you this story? What happened to him? So my bet on that game was Roosters minus 6.5 under 50.5. His was like 4 try. He had Nwanga Tuase for a double, Turbo for a try, and then I think one other leg, Roosters minus 5.5, then under 49.5. And when we're sitting there having a beer before and I go, what's your bet? And he tells me and I'm like, oh yeah, whatever. Anyway, I'm watching the game. Turbo scores. Nwanga Tuase scores a double. He's like, I'm fucking on here. It's a 52-1 multi. And I go, what's the last few legs? He goes, 49.5. And I go, that's a shocking omen that I'm on 50, you're on 49. Drop out. Sam Walker gets it. He kicks a field goal. Sorry, his was 48.5. Mine was 50.5. Sam Walker takes the field goal and they scored 49. So he lost a $52 multi by half a point.
No.
Yeah.
That is devastating.
If you go back and watch the Hello Sport live stream from the other day, if you're watching the background, it's like Ralph Wiggum. Jack's just having a fucking temper tantrum and then just falls over eventually.
That's how it makes it worse as well. He's a South fan.
Yes.
Like he
got
just
exactly what he fucking deserved. That's all. So yeah, we're going home and all of his mates are sending him screen recordings of the stream of him just losing his mind in the background. Fucking good gear. Shout out to you, Jack Ringwood. You dickhead. Okay. That's us for TLT. Bluewealth Property, as always, doing fantastic things here for us at Beers and Breakevens. Obviously, putting up the $5,000 dues for you guys for the overall winner of the Beers and Breakevens Comp. They've got some big things coming up over the next few weeks. The 8th of April, buying a property with your super. That one's a webinar, so you can go there in the pajamas, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. The link is down below in the description. And then we have got the OG Wealth Through Property. That one's a webinar as well.
Webinar.
What's that?
Brent Webinar.
Brent Webinar. I love that. That's really good from you. I wish I would have thought of that myself. Brent Webinar.
I can't believe we've been saying that for like 3-4 years now and that hasn't come up.
That's really good by you.
Thank you.
I hate when he has good ones. It's right there too. It's right in front of us. God damn it. So that one, Wealth Through Property, that's a Brent webinar at 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. on the 23rd of April. The link's down below in the description. If you were to describe to the loyal listeners out there, Timmy, who are maybe starting to go on the financial journey of looking at property, what does the Wealth Through Property really do for you? How would you explain it to people?
Jeez, it's kind of in the headline, isn't it? Create wealth through buying properties.
But it's I've got the worst fucking Robin of all time. It's all about Batman on this show. He's got to do fucking everything.
Well, you've got about 6 properties. You tell me, mate.
I don't have any. I've got my property I live in, and that's all, Timothy.
Yeah.
We've been through this on a few occasions.
Well, the idea is, mate, you can play the stock market and you can create wealth that way. You can just bank it all. You can do whatever you want. There's another option, and that is by buying properties and creating wealth.
Why didn't he just fucking say that when I threw to him the first time?
Pretty much.
You had that up your sleeve and you're a dickhead. Wealth Through Property, 23rd of April, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. But before that, we have buying a property with your super. That's on the 8th of April. That's a webinar, 6:30 to 7:30. The link is down below in the description. And I believe Tony's going to be joining us over the next few weeks.
You normally throw to me for explainers on Rentvesting and the property cycle graphic, which I've got nailed to a T, and I was hoping you were going that way. And then
you had that nailed to a T, to be fair. You nailed it on your second attempt.
Thank you.
That was great. Tony will be joining us over the next few weeks. Tony, if you're listening, I need to reach out to you because we had plans to catch up next Tuesday. That's an extravaganza for some next Tuesday. Not for some that quit shows and just fucking hit the frog and toad, but for me, Bloke on Tuesday. For me and Maddie, I should say. Bloke on Tuesday. Timmy's got to do the SC Playbook podcast. Then we got to do Beers and Breaking. It's a big day.
It's a huge day for you boys.
And if your fucking stats aren't good next Tuesday, you're going to hear about it. Know that,
mate,
okay?
My lift coming into this podcast of Tuesday night from now on is going to be huge starting next Tuesday.
It's good to see it begin to be huge. Very, very good to see. Okay, our next thing we're going to discuss is... we got NRL Physio coming to join us. We're going to play his video now, get his thoughts. We've obviously got, I think, Payne Haas is probably the biggest interest to me. I'm keen to hear what his thoughts are and how they've changed from last week. Fizz, take it away, mate.
Alrighty, crew. SUPERCOACH relevant injuries for this week. The first one, a bit of a serious situation, but mentioned off the top. Tui Kamika. He has suffered a stroke, suspected stroke. Obviously, has been in hospital, had emergency surgery. Plenty of people asking, retirement, all this kind of thing. Look, way too early to talk about anything, really, whether he's going to return, whether he's going to retire. It's a bit like the Eli Katoa situation where it's just going to be time. We're just going to have to see how things go in the coming days in terms of assessments and different things. But best thoughts go out to him because obviously a really serious situation. Glad to hear it's looking so far like he's on the improve, which is good. The big question for everyone like Payne Haas, obviously we spoke about him extensively last week. I didn't end up selling because I had bigger fires to put out. This week, I just still don't feel great about him. I think, as Guru and Timmy spoke about, I just don't think he's definitely not a captaincy option over the next couple of weeks. Just because, there's a risk he cops a blow to that shoulder and then game over, or workload down as well. So, unfortunately, with a few guys we're about to talk about, your likes of Moses Leo and these kind of guys ruled out, my team's in a bit of strife in the CTW, so I think that's going to be my main focus for trades this week. But once again, like I just don't. I'm not super confident in Haas, so I wouldn't talk down to anybody who is thinking about trading him out for, a flying option if he was your only ticket to say a Reece Walsh or something like that in moving cash around. Wouldn't be against it by any means, but I am probably going to hold for this week. His break-even's achievable. Fletcher Sharp, everyone saw him kind of go down at the end of the game. Look, straight out of the textbook for PCL injuries, you're going to get these aggravations. It shouldn't be anything long term. Even if he suffered it at the start of the game, he probably would have kept playing just at a decreased performance. And to be honest with you, I think he had another couple of aggravations throughout the game as well. So this is just what PCL injuries are. Coming back from PCL injuries, the performance is going to be down, aggravation risk is going to be up. So I think if you look at like having him in your plans over the next couple of weeks, just put a pause on it. He's not a priority until he starts to look his old self again, which is probably a couple of weeks away. Adam Dewey, I feel a lot better about him now that I know that it's a groin issue rather than a hamstring. They're much more preferable in terms of like risk of, multiple weeks out and those kind of things. The only problem with a groin is it can limit kicking, so he might not get the goal kicking back anytime soon, but certainly unlikely to miss or less likely to miss several weeks like he would have been with a hamstring. Iongi, he's going to be out for at least 6 weeks. So Joash Papali'i, he becomes an option for at least 6 weeks. Matt Doherty, ACL season over. Grant Anderson, he's going to be out at least probably 8 weeks, 10 weeks at best. So definitely an opportunity there for someone in the Broncos back line to take hold, and they've got a really good draw coming up, so I don't mind that. Josh Curran, he'll be out at least this week with a rib. The Dogs, as far as I know, haven't said whether there's a fracture or not, so we'll wait and hear on that. That would be a couple of weeks if it is a fracture. Mitch Barnett, it'll be 4 to 6 weeks. Have seen like the likes of Josh Adokar come back in 3, but that's pretty rare. Thumbs are tough to kind of accelerate, so probably at least 4 weeks for Mitch Barnett. Moses Leo, as I spoke about, he's got those concussion symptoms. Was he going to be dropped anyway after some poor performances? Who knows? But he'll be out for at least this week, but be eligible to return as soon as next week. Same with Kyle Flanagan, even though his was quite a significant concussion, obviously being knocked out for such a long period of time. They're talking about a couple of weeks for him. A lot of people asking about Brandon Smith. Once again, typical for calf injuries. I think South initially said he was going to miss a couple of weeks, so 2 weeks. But they had round 3 and then the bye. It just did not make sense for him to come back in round 3. And now here we are in round 5 and he's still, no certainty, unfortunately. So, yeah, calves, they linger in rehab. So anybody who's got him on the bench, you might be waiting a week or 2 more, but I've got him and I'm more than happy to just keep rolling out Harry Grant because hooker is a bit of a nightmare. And then, look, the star of the show, Phoenix Crossland, what a sight to behold on the weekend. To play through that is pretty mental, and I think I'll throw to Timmy for some expert, I come on here for the injury analysis, but Tim can provide us with some expert analysis because had a lot of questions, people asking, does the nose ever go back to what it was before? Is it ever as beautiful as before? So Timmy, I know you've had a few. I've broken my nose 5 times actually playing footy. So yeah, I know that this face used to be really, really beautiful, but unfortunately not so much anymore. And I blame the broken noses, and I'm sure Timmy does the same. But yeah, if you like information like this, Magic Sponge podcast out Sunday night, Monday mornings, and I'll talk to you next week.
All right, Physio. Interesting. Timmy, I'd say he wasn't as strong on selling Haas as he was last week, as he's been named. I still think there's every chance he's going to get ruled out, in which I'm going to have a fucking tantrum. But if between you and me, if you can keep it a little secret, I was kind of hoping he wasn't going to play this week, so I could sell him and make some moves elsewhere. I know exactly what's going to happen now. I'm going to make my moves elsewhere. Then he's going to get ruled out on Friday, and it's going to fucking infuriate me. Are you worried about limited minutes? Is it a concern for you?
Yeah, it is, but I'm willing to lose 100 to 150k for Payne Haas for a bloke that I know I'm getting back in at some point. If there's a few weeks where his scores are reduced, and keep in mind, scores reduced for Payne Haas he scores 50 to 60. Obviously, that's unders and he'll drop some cash. I get it.
Yeah.
In which case, those that sold will be going beauty. He's dropped a bit of cash, done all that, but they've still got to get him back in. That's 2 trades. He's a bloke that if he stays fit, you know, I'd look to hold him long term. That being said, I know the Broncos started casting an eye towards Origin. Broncos rep players not so good over the Origin period necessarily. So when you look at that, there's a world where people that sell Payne Haas don't get him back for a fair while. And I've still got him up into Origin. And, mate, I'll be honest, I feel fine about it. And I just feel like Payne Haas is bad is most players very good.
Yeah.
Of course, where it can hit hard is the finances, and he can drop value, and maybe he drops 200K, but it's also Payne Haas. Mate, he could play 45 minutes. I'll tell you this. If Payne Haas plays less minutes and he knows he's getting less minutes, that prick is going to go nuts because he'll be giving everything he has knowing that he's got limited time and he's going to score well. So put it this way. I'm not as concerned as Fizz or anyone else that sold him.
Yeah, very fair.
You seem pretty concerned.
No. To be honest with you, I want the cash from him. I want the cash. So I wanted him to not be named, and I'm trying to find reasons why I should sell him. But Physio wasn't convincing enough for me. You sure as fuck weren't. So I don't think I will.
You know what would just be a sweet, beautiful dream? He comes out this week, plays his 55, 60 minutes. It doesn't have to be 70 plus. Plays 50 to 55 minutes, punches out his monster base and power. He scores a try at the line break, scores 110, and everyone who sold last week has to buy him back next week. And there's a huge chance that happens.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, very fair. All right, let's get into our stats deep dive. Our stats deep dive. Our stats deep dive. Thank you, Matthew, for the love of God.
Sorry, I was looking up Brent Webb stats.
Oh, what'd you find? I'm very interested.
Well, I didn't realise he was part of so many Super League wins.
Yes.
With Leeds. And it said on Rugby League Project he was part of 5, but I think he was just around the team for 5 of them because other sources say 3. So I'll keep digging. But it's anywhere from 3 to 5 Super League comps.
During an era when the Kangaroos obviously very dominant, Brent Webb always fucking put up a fight against the Kangaroos. I feel like he was always in the top 3 Kiwi players against us.
Here's a fun fact for you that I've never told either of you. I went to Brent Webb's Rugby League farewell on a beach in southern France.
Whoa.
Really? That's cool.
He was playing with the Catalan Dragons at the time that my brother was over there, and it was the week that I went to visit him and watch them play. And yeah, he'd had, I think it was a neck injury or something from memory, and they were having his farewell on this unreal beach bar. And boys had a few. Great day. Actually, one of the great days. Stunning spot in Perpignan there. Cairn, I think the beach was. And I remember I was coming off a Croatia sail / Kentucky / about an absolute 2-week crack. And I got to a point in the day where I was busted.
Yep.
And I went back into my brother's car and I was trying to just have like a 20-minute power nap so I could get my eyes open. And it started bucketing down around. I'm like, cool, got a bit of shelter from anything going on outside. And just this smudge of these hot pink board shorts starts coming towards the car. And I went, no, please don't. How do you know I got here? And the door rips open and it was Elliot Whitehead on an absolute tear. He goes, come on, lad, get back out here. And he ripped me out and I was back into a schooner on the beach in southern France. I went, oh. Didn't see that coming, did you?
I did not see that coming.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my introduction to Elliot Whitehead.
Wow.
Before we move off Brent Webb, because it was a topic tonight anyway, his son, Charlie Webb, coming through the Roosters grades.
Really?
Little CBA, one to watch. Very talented player.
He would have been in that Tri Nations team that touched us up. 05?
If we got touched up, it would have been because of Brent Webb.
I think he would.
If it was anywhere from 03 to like 08, it would have been because of Brent Webb. Mad player. Hectic player. I think he ever played for the Warriors in the NRL, didn't he? Did he?
Yeah, he only played for Warriors. I'm pretty sure, yeah. When I, like, he's that Warriors era where it's like the olden days black and grey jumpers.
Yeah. 02 to 06, 103 games.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Off the dome.
Did he play in the 02 grand final? Because Ivan was the fullback, wasn't he?
I don't think so. Oh, I can find out.
I'm pretty sure Ivan was the fullback in the O2 GF. I could be wrong with that. But whilst Maddie finds that, we're starting off our stats deep dive. Roosters/Turbo. What do you got here for me, mate?
Yes. So, touched on this on the Bloke podcast, but mate, Tommy Turbo, obviously interesting buy prospect this week.
No one listens to the Bloke podcast anyway
No,
more,
exactly.
mate, so just fill us in.
They're all tuned into this.
Star attraction's gone. It's like when Freddie left the Roosters.
Oh, that's definitely the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Yeah, start of season 104.88, and then I guess a comparatively down week with 76 points against the Roosters. All I want to say to anyone umming and ahhing against Tom Trbojevic, Manly in-play odds, or probably reflecting on the game, were about 1,000,000 to 1 to win that, because the Roosters completed, in wet conditions, 50 of 52 sets. They did not give away a penalty in that entire game. For Tom Trbojevic to score 76 in that game, I think he had 2 try assists. When it was a monsoon before the game, shout out to Brookie Oval Drainage, did fantastically well. It's more than okay, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we'll get to it. Fuck me, we'll get to it because I'm going to get bullied online. All right, Dogs Attack and Jacob Kiraz, talk to me.
Yeah, so the Doggies, who we probably thought may have been a more popular target, now they've got their bye out of the way. They were 2 from 2 to start the season. Another one we touched on yesterday, or Monday, I should say. Mate, they've got the worst attacking output in the NRL, 2.3 tries per game. The only other 2 teams with less than 3 tries per game are the Dragons and Titans. And yeah, the Doggies are the bottom of this list. And Jacob Kiraz last week against the Raiders, again, this was in a monsoon, scored his 28 points, and you just went, ugh, concerning. A good bounce back this week, 86 points against the Knights. His numbers, though, the one that says to me, King Kiraz is not okay. This year, he's busted 2 tackles in 3 games.
Yeah, wow, really?
He averaged 5 tackle busts per game last year, 2 in the first 3 rounds. King Kiraz is not okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's 100%.
So he scored and had an assist on the weekend, a line break assist, like the try assist for 86. I want him at some point, but man, I can't touch him right now. Like, the Doggies' attack is no good, and he's just obviously not at 100%.
Those tries and try assists too were lucky as shit.
It was the offload with that 3 people over the top kind of thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the other one was a forward pass.
Was that the one where in the chat you were like, "That's the worst try I've ever seen"?
It was off the head.
Off the head.
Yeah,
Off Burton's head.
Off the head of Burton, yeah. So
I actually started with Kiraz this year. He was like the guy that I indulged in. And I was stoked to start the year because he killed it in Vegas, but it's been grim since then.
well, correct me if
Still
I'm
got him?
Still got him, yeah.
I mean,
I'm just going to hold
on the
on to him
weekend,
now.
but correct me if I'm wrong. Was it early in the Raiders game he copped a knock or something?
Yeah.
And I reckon perhaps that has slowed him up. So anyway.
A stat you just mentioned there about them scoring 2.3 tries per game. How good was it on Bloke the other day when I was not paying any attention? And you said exactly that. Then I said it exactly the same thing. Like
Did
2
someone
minutes.
call you out?
Yeah, Kempy did. But I was paying such little attention at that point. I didn't
You
even
start
realise.
saying you're looking down reading. Kempy just looked up at each other and went, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, because at the time I was like, I think I've missed something here. So I watched it back and I just repeated exactly what you said. Jenkins and Brian To'o, the Panthers wingers. If you had been dropped onto planet Earth 4 weeks ago and watched the Panthers instead of the greatest winger of all times playing, you'd think it was the Milky Bar Kid. Talk to me.
Yes.
And that's not an insult to Brian To'o, just Jenkins is flying.
That was an accidental, beautiful segue into this point. Tommy Goat Jenkins, 109 points per game this season, 10 tries to his name. 782K with a -2 break even. Firstly, a shout out to Tom Jenkins. My second
Leroy.
my second shout out is to Brian To'o owners. I was almost one of them before this stat system changed. I went a bit heavier on CT dubs. Mate, he's averaging 50 points per game among one of those dominant starts for a season we've had. While Tommy Jenkins has had 10 tries and 8 line breaks, To'o has 2 tries and 1 line break. You would be livid. He's 563K at the break even of 109. Mate, he could be near 500K when their run eases up. I genuinely feel sorry for those who started with Toto and just watching everything go left going, are you serious?
Yeah, it's pretty fucked. I feel like you are always a bee's dick away from having Toto as well. I feel like you're always...
I am, yeah.
He's always the next cab off the rank.
But it never happens for some reason.
Yeah. He's your bee's dick player.
I do want to chat Tom Jenkins, though. Mate, like, they don't look like slowing down, the Panthers. The only reason I'm not willing to pay up for Tom Jenkins is because it's the Storm into the dog ears. But also, to your point earlier, I don't think it matters who the Panthers play at the moment. 782K and negative break even. Is there a world where this just continues? He's 800K plus for the next 3 months, and whoever owns him is just going ton.
Quite possibly. Casey McLean gets the Nick Meaney matchup this week. That left edge is getting more ball.
Could you do it, Jenkins?
Could I do it?
Yeah.
No, because as soon as I do, he'll never score another fucking
I
try again.
I know.
I had him on the fucking blackboard and about even because he cost me so much money last year. So no, for me, I can't because I don't want to ruin the fun. But for other people that have got balls bigger than mine, which isn't overly difficult, I can understand you going it.
Like,
what price is he at?
782K.
Oh, that's etch.
With a negative break even.
I think I'm buying Turbo for less than that this week.
Yeah.
Wild.
But like, so project if he comes out and scores 87, he goes up to $72,000. He could be 850K next week. I don't think anyone's paying that for him. If he comes out and does it again and he hangs out that 850, 900, like, it's just, I couldn't do it either, mate, with so many good buys on the radar. But there is a world where in like 5 weeks, Tommy's belted out another 5 tons and we're just, anyone who happens to own him has just left everyone behind.
I told you what happened in my draft comp this year about him, haven't I? One of the boys thought he was going to have a huge year, drafted him number 8 overall, which is huge for a guy that wasn't guaranteed a spot. Team list come out on Tuesday. He was 19th man and he dropped him. Someone else picked him off the waiver wire and he's the best player in SuperCoach. Shout out to you, Kurt Postetto, one of the great bed shits of all time. So we have like a running joke. He doesn't know about this, but now he will, which is funny. We have a running joke in our group that every time Tom Jenkins scores, we get a text from Kurt complaining about it. Tom Jenkins is scoring heaps of fucking tries. We're getting heaps of text messages. It's wild. Next man on our list is, I am so happy to see this name here. I feel like it's been years of, this is a guy that I look at him at a draft waiver wire 6 times a year because he goes on and off all the time. But he's finally SuperCoach relevant, Alex Twal. And I want to give a big shout out to Natty from the Weekly Rubdown. He traded him in 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
Out of
ago.
nowhere. Yeah, wild.
2 weeks ago is
Crazy.
ridiculous, but touche.
Twal, talk to me.
Yeah, Scarf Boy Bryden's all over him as well. 40.
Scarf boy Bryden. I love that.
So 46 minutes per game last year. He's always had big minutes.
Real schoolyarder. It's just Scarf boy. Sorry.
Scarf Boy, Scarf Boy.
Oh, right, it's like that episode of Seinfeld where he's walking around the cave.
You wouldn't get it. You don't have good taste in TV. But that's fine.
So recent years minute average 46, 42, 46, 49. He's averaging 64 minutes per game this year. 78 point average with 64 in base.
Fucking duck.
He's 548K, break even of 12, and he's dual front row 2RF. He had 22 offloads last season. He's had 6 offloads in 3 games this season and looking the goods. It pains me to say, not because of any knock on Alex Twal by any means. Love the bloke. Icon of the game. But, like, I could never consider buying him just because he's such a boring super player. I mean, like, we know about his try-scoring drought and took him 1,000 games to break that, etc. But, mate, the numbers he's putting up, there was, Spy was saying on Playbook Podcast, there was a quote from Benji about wanting him to be this massive minute forward. He's essentially taken up this. What I said on that was that he's taking up Terrell's role.
Yes.
Go out there, work your ass off, play big minutes, or run in the ground, whatever. You're built for this. Terrell's getting less minutes. Mate, I hate to say it, but I'm very interested.
Yeah, I'm going your man Arama this week, so I just can't afford to go someone else. But is he a keeper, do you think? Or I just
On these numbers.
but I just refuse to believe.
I do too. To your point of Jenkins and like you'd buy him and he won't score a try, I'll buy Twal and he's going to average 50 for the next 3 weeks. So I'm going to sell him and go, I just wasted 2 trades on Alex Twal. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I can't buy him.
You know who this reminds me of? And it's a bit of a Timu Twal.
Yeah.
This is the trade I made, and I used 2 trades in about 3 weeks on Daniel Alvaro.
Fuck, that's a flashback.
Do you remember that?
The white polar bear.
And he just teed off for some reason. Granted, the white polar bear was about 260K.
It actually wasn't that long ago. I do remember
It wasn't that long ago.
It was during the beers era. Like,
and he was going nuts early for a few rounds. I bought him, and then as soon as I bought him, he flopped and went back to Alvaro territory. And I'd used 2 trades on Alvaro in about 3 weeks. And I just went, what have I done?
Matthew, can you Google what's Dan Alvaro doing with himself now? I'm very intrigued.
Yeah.
Is he retired? Is he in England?
I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I'm interested.
Anyway, Twal, mate, the numbers are very hard to ignore.
I'm going to try to ignore them, but they are hard. What do you got for me, Matt?
It doesn't look like he's played any senior footy since 2022.
Yeah, wow. Okay, sure.
But let me keep.
Probably when I ended his career by trading him in.
Without a doubt. Keon Kolomantungi Dragons bound next year. What have you got for me, Timmy? He's another one I'm interested in that I can't afford.
Sorry, incorrect. He signed a 3-year deal to play in what's that other French team in the Super League? But they could be in Toulouse. That's it. He
Are they
signed
in the Super League?
No,
They were.
They
Or
were.
are they in Championship?
So he signed a 3-year deal in 2022. So that would take him in 2024, 25, and that's the last thing I know. So.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Keon, talk to me.
Just a quick one here, mate. There's probably other buyers in the position this week, but I thought it was worth flagging. I honestly may have had him in the stat deep dive last week. I don't remember. Averaging 69, 661K, break even 84. I said no rush to get him. 0 major attacking stats to his game this season. He's averaging 71 minutes per game, 64 in base. We know he's got tries in him. I think Keon is someone you're going to want sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
Yeah.
He's one I'll be trying to get sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Don't worry about the last bloke.
Oh, really?
Oh, we can.
No pain, no gain.
No, we can. Oh, quickly.
Torpicky, talk to me. Because I've had a few people messaging me about it this week.
Yeah, Torpicky, obviously just named start at fullback, played fullback last week. He's CT dub eligible is why he's on this list. In past years, playing fullback, averaged 59.8 with 42.5 in base and power stats. Like, not overwhelmingly good, but solid numbers coming into a team that's red hot outside of last week's loss. Just one to keep an eye on. He's one that if he keeps the fullback spot and he's scoring well, it's CT dub. Just one to keep an eye on.
One of my best mates is ranked, I think he's in the top 400 or 500, Tommy Stewart. And he texted me this week saying he's bringing in Tane Torpicky. So, big player, I like it.
Interesting.
Congratulations
Big
to
player.
Tommy too. Birth of young Evie Stewart this week came into the world. So, little CBA for the future to watch.
Good name.
Very good name. Okay. Stats deep dive, we done and dusted?
Yeah.
Unreal. Go through our sort of trade thoughts this week, and if I was you at home, I'd warm up some popcorn because this is going to be a pretty etched 10 minutes for me. I always say to you, Timmy, it's not about being right, it's about getting it right. I wasn't right, but I need to get it right this week. I traded in James Tedesco last week. It didn't go overly well for me. He now has the bye, which I knew about. I think...
Jeez, this is hurting you.
Oh, it's hurting me so much, man. This is the most humbling fucking conversation I'm going to have. And I took Tobler out for dinner last night. At the moment, I want to get Turbo. I personally believe that Manly has a bounce back over the next month or so. I think Foz will get something out of him. I think Turbo goes big the next few weeks. I want Turbo. I also... I have Tom Chester in my fullback, all this sort of shit. I can't quite get Turbo. But what I wanted to do was use Payne Haas money to get Turbo.
Yeah.
I don't really have an avenue to him now. I would either have to trade Dylan Lucas, which I love Dylan Lucas, but I was kind of almost willing to do that. But you talked me out of that pre-show, which I think makes sense in hindsight. I think I have to trade Teddy to Turbo. And I think I have to buy Teddy back in 2.5 weeks. I'm also going to fall on my sword. No, sorry, I'm not going to fall on my sword. I'm going to be a stubborn prick. I know a lot of people are interested in trading in Reece Walsh this week. I think it's a good trade in. Just because you've got him, I'm going to take you on head to head and I'm not going to go Reece Walsh.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
I'm a slut for content and we know that and I'm here for it. I think I have to trade Teddy to Turbo this week. Teddy's got a bye this week. Sharky's the week after in Perth. High break even. I might let him lose a bit of cash there and then I'm hoping the stars align and I can move Tom Chester to Teddy. It sounds crazier than it actually is, I think. I'm keen to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's probably the play. The spy always
I'm
makes...
currently an ant under a microscope with you holding it. Just be fucking kind or put me to my death.
Oh, honestly. At least you can't straight see him if you trade him out, so...
Yeah, true.
Yeah, the spy sort of always makes a good point. When you're sort of trading a player in and then out and that sort of stuff, it always sounds a little bit worse than it is because you go, I'm using 2 trades to do it. You're using one extra trade to do it because the person you're trading out, you're doing anyway. You've just taken a different path to do it via 2 trades instead of 1. So you've cost yourself 1 trade, very annoyingly, and also the 70K that he lost last week.
Yes, yep. I will say this as well. If I do this and Teddy comes out and puts 150 on the Sharkies, he's going to have to go into witness protection.
Yeah.
Because I will be fucking beside myself.
It'll be the driest, fastest track of all time in Perth as well, you'd imagine.
Yep.
But
And you know what they'll do? Landers will go, hey, we're taking the game to Perth next year. Give it 36 seconds. Make this as exciting as we
want
can.
this to be 80
I want
to
this
60.
to be 50 to 48.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I think it's the right move, mate. Break even 133. He's 754K on a buy this week. When you look at blokes like Tommy Trbojevic, who's come into a nice run. I know you're not going for Walsh, which makes me ecstatic, but like against the Titans. So the fact that, look, we know Teddy can hit 133, but say he scores his 80 odd, maybe 90. There's going to be another pretty big price drop there. The other thing is he's got the 46 in his rolling average for the extra week because it's his last score. So while he's dropping and not playing this week, he can have Tommy Turbo's couple of weeks of scores against good softer teams, and he's going to rise in cash. It sucks for you, but you have fallen on your sword on this, and I think it's the right move.
Yeah. Okay. My next question to you. I'm going to do that. Kills me, but I'm going to do that. My question to you now is what's my avenue to do that? So Arama Howe is going to be the man that I'm going to trade in with his negative break-even. I think it makes some good money. I'm looking at, obviously, Helam Lukey's still got money to make. Dave Fafita's a hold. Chan, Noah Martin's still got money to make there. Dill Lucas, as we said, is an option, but I want to I think you've made a good points on him pre-show that I should hold him. So my options are, and I can trade either of these 2 guys to get Arama Howe and it'll work, Flegler or Trey Mooney. Is it time I just jump off the Flegler train?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. He 50 points in 36 minutes last week. I think he's offloading. He's already got his extra stats. Let me have a little look-see, but
wouldn't have a clue.
I mean, the fact that he was off the bench, so he had 4 offloads, tackle bust. Like, I think Flegler will make a bit of cash. And the reason, like, I sold him the week prior when he was out, I mean, I sold him last week, actually. He's just going to be a slow burn. Like, I think there's every chance he does notch 150K in price rises, but it might not happen till round 11.
Yeah.
And it's like, who has time to sit around and wait for that in this economy?
Yes.
So, yeah, I reckon you sell him. And then, because who was your other option? Oh, Trey Mooney. Mooney back from suspension, debt to owe to the boys, powerhouse, like getting through a ton of work. He's offloading at will. He's playing the Raiders this week, his old club. He'll be out to make a statement. Yeah, I'd be selling Flegler for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So if I sell Flegler and Teddy. I can get Howe and Travojevic, which leaves me with 112K in the bank, which means I'll probably sell Phoenix to Brandon Smith in the next 2 weeks. That'll free up another 200K. That'll be 300K in the bank. By that point, Chester will go up. So
I'll sell Reed Marnie to Brandon Smith. It'll cost me 30K.
Reed Marnie for a packet of chips. And then I should be able to go Tom Chester to Turbo in 3 weeks' time. That's where I'm at.
Tom Chester to Teddy.
What did I say?
Tom Chester to Turbo.
Tom Chester to Teddy in about 2 or 3 weeks' time. Yeah. That breaks my heart to me. That really breaks my heart. But I think I have to do it.
Yep. Pulling the pin.
Yeah. I'm also
Does this void does it not void? Does this we don't void bets here. Does this cost you a bet because you don't have Teddy for your 5 weeks, whatever our state dinner bet was?
Yeah, probably. Well, I mean, I'm already 50 points behind. He's got to buy this week. Oh, no, wait. This week doesn't count. We said this week doesn't count.
We did say this week doesn't count.
But the next week does count, yes. Okay. So I am going to be a week behind. I'm already 50 points behind. So it's going to be tough. I'm pretty much hoping for a Reece Walsh injury or Adam Reynolds to touch heaps of ball, which I don't love. Good that Payne Haas is back. Yes. Okay. That's probably me for this week. I have toyed with the idea of another boost, but I don't quite know where else I would go. I'm open to suggestions, Timmy, if you've got any thoughts or ideas on other players that you think I need to try and make a move on. Because I do also probably have Moses Leo still in my team. I do probably have a bench spot that I'm probably not going to be overly stoked with this weekend. Mm-hmm. It'll probably be Trey Mooney, Dave Fafita, Helam Lukey, and then I'm sort of taking a plunge out of Tom Chester, Phoenix, Paseka, one of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, sort of on that point, and look, I think a lot of people have been in the same boat, but I've had some bludgers of these CT dub, not just CT dub, but cheapy performances. Like I played Atkinson last week for 19 against the Titans. How he's only managed that, I will never know. But even like I played Faimani a couple of times. He scored me 32 last week. I think I had to play him last week when I was going to play Setu too.
Yeah.
And then Sloane scored a try 2 minutes into the game when he should have been in that position. Anywho. So I am at the point where I really just want to, with money in the bank and having gone for a few extra cheapies early, I just really want to try and strengthen up my 17 to avoid having to play these just duds.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word. Like freaking Moses Leo last week against the Cowboys up there. We just scored 20 or something. So, yeah, I just want to strengthen my team up a little bit in a few of those spots, namely getting some more firepower into CT dub.
Yeah. So, sorry, what trade are you making?
I've still got a lot to look at because I think I want to boost, but I'll tell you two that I'm looking at the moment. One is going Keanu Kinney to Tom Trbojevic.
Yeah.
The other is Moses Leo to Simi Sasangi.
Oh, okay.
Didn't see that one coming?
In hindsight, I probably should have, but no, I didn't.
Sasangi, 528K, break even of 24, averaging 76 per game with 39 in base. In his 4 games this season, 26 tackle busts, 6 offloads. Mate, he's just doing it with ease at the moment. Like, pretty well all in base and power, a few attacking stats, but nothing major. A few tough matchups he's coming up against, like, edgewise, but he's one where it could backfire. I know the Raiders aren't going great, but I think he's just generally won this spot. He's been so good. A few defensive lapses here and there, but he's in front of Matty Timoko, who has these as well. On all reports, Timoko hasn't been setting the world alight in Cup. So
has his defense been that bad?
No, not that bad. There's just been a couple of little things. I think there was a bad read maybe last week on someone, but no, not bad.
Okay.
Nonetheless, if Sasangi just keeps his spot all season where he goes, yeah, we've got you there, we've got heaps of back row depth, he could turn into a keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just strengthens my CT dub. The concern is if they lose again and Ricky just goes, screw it, we need to make a change where we've lost 4 games and won 1. Do they bring Timoko and Sasangi goes to the bench, in which case he's probably a sell? That's my concern. But, geez, he looks the goods.
He looks unreal as a footballer. Yeah, I can't believe what he did to Kale Itero last week. He must have put him in a body bag. That was wild.
So, looking at that at the moment, I'm pretty keen to boost this week, mate. I don't have any other like fives. I've got Reed Marnie, who I'm only going to go to, unless something else pops up, a Cheese when he's back, or a Brayley at some point. They've got a bye in a few weeks, so I'm thinking if I lose another 50, 60k for Reed Marnie, it's not ideal. But like, I haven't looked like playing him since round 1 anyway, so I don't really care. Fini Fuiaki's one that I'm absolutely getting, and he still might come into my team this week.
Can't believe you didn't get a feature in the stats deep
I was
dive
going
for
to
the
open up
fourth
with
week in
him.
a row.
I was going to open up with him. I'm like, I just won't do it to people. But like, he's got a break even of 29. If that was a bit lower, I would definitely get him this week. But because the Dolphins have a bye next week, I could still get him this week. But at this stage, I'm not. I will be buying him after the bye. It's against Penrith. I don't care. He goes Penrith, Warriors, Storm, Doggies, Savage, but mate, he looks a season keeper to me.
I am playing him in draft this weekend.
Yeah.
And he is running at Brooks and Ben Trebojevic. It's going to keep me awake at night. I'm terrified.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still navigating a few options with this boost to get him in this week. Because the 29 break even I'm going doesn't play next week, other good options on the cards, I'm thinking of him. But I'll be getting him, if not this week, then after the bye.
Yeah, very fair. Matty, what trade do you think of, mate?
Funnily enough, my trades are very similar to Timmy's, except I'm not trading out Leo. I'm trading out Angus Crichton because I'm just done with him and putting
very fair.
Simi Sassangi. The problem is though, I can't afford it, so I need to free up cash somewhere else. And I was gonna do. I know it's risky because he's not back yet, but I'm just pulling the trigger early on Cheese to Marnie to Cheese.
That's fine, honestly. Like, it's the fact that Cheese should hopefully be back next week.
Like, I'm not playing Marnie anyway.
No,
And I was always going to do it. So unless Cheese gets re-injured before he comes back,
That'd suck.
That'd suck, but surely not.
or if like
Then you're running with enough. You've freed up cash. It's all like it's not ideal.
because
it's not the
Cheese
end
should
of
be
the
back
world.
next week, if not next week, the week after, sort of thing. But it's like your worst case scenario is if Harry gets injured this week and misses a week,
Yeah.
and you've got to hold him, and then Cheese doesn't come back and you don't have a hooker. But there's a lot of ifs there.
Also, if you don't have a hooker and Harry's injured, everyone else is playing Reed.
Some spud.
Yeah.
Unless
Fair,
you're me with
yeah,
Phoenix
fair.
Crossland, you're kind of fucked. Okay, I like that, Matty. Very good. Should we do captains, Timbo?
Yep.
Okay. Here's my logic.
Oh, this would be good.
I'm trading in Turbo. I'm going to VC him on Thursday night. It's very hard to leave Herbie out. Don't get me wrong. I'm terrified of Herbie, but I don't know. I've just got a feeling on Tommy, and when you get these feelings, I think you got to lean in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to VC Turbo. My captain this week, I'm keen to hear what you're doing. I'm hoping that a Melbourne matchup scares people off. I'm just going Nath Cleary, flat stick. I think Penrith
Yeah, sweet.
put the fucking knife through him here.
So am I.
You going Cleary?
Yep.
Yeah, nice. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking VC Herbie. I
Yeah,
could
nice.
do Turbo. My logic there is that if Manly do get up for this game, that whole sat coach, the boys get up for a week sort of thing, cause an upset, whatever, I think it'll at least be a tightish game.
Yeah.
If Manly don't get up for it and the Dolphins are on, they could put 50 on them. That's my I'm thinking of leaning towards Herbie for that reason.
Kohler marking him or Garrick?
Garrick.
Yeah, mad. Fuck. That's terrifying.
Yeah. So I'm thinking Herbie VC and C Reece Walsh.
Reece Walsh, yeah.
And it's going to take a good VC score to not captain Reece Walsh against the Titans for me.
Yeah, very fair. I kind of feel the same with Nath. I feel very confident this week. 4 tries this last week, 8 goals for Nath, only scored 115, but essentially 4 tries off kicks, I think.
Thank God I pulled the trigger on Sam Walker to him last week.
Yes.
That would have hurt.
Yeah, big time. That would have been fantastic. Okay, let's say you're not interested in those options. We went for Timmy. Is there who would be your next? Like, I don't think you could go a sewer this week. I wouldn't be going near Trell against Canterbury with. Yeah, I think that's too much of a punt. At Payne Haas, I wouldn't be going near, all things considered.
Yeah.
That Sharks Wars game, I'd be avoiding like the fucking plague. Newcastle Canberra, there's no one really there.
Don't like Nico against the Warriors as such.
I think they're the guys. I think it is Herbie, Turbo, Cleary, Walsh game. Sort of weekend.
Adam Dewey against the Eels.
Um,
I'm too scared of his. I don't own him, but I'm too scared of his hammy.
yeah, I'd be too scared to do that. I don't have enough balls to do that.
Actually, not a lot of great options, is there?
No, I was hoping that Nath Cleary against Melbourne would be people wouldn't want to captain against Melbourne, but there really aren't that many fantastic options. Herbie, Turbo, Nath, if you had to rank them as VC options, if you do have the plans to go Walsh, would you have Herbie at number one?
Herbie 1, Turbo 2, Cleary 3. I just think Melbourne, they're the Melbourne Storm coming off 2 losses. I think Melbourne win. I think Melbourne win pretty comfortably. I've seen this story before.
Yes. Any concerns, Matthew?
No,
No.
not at all. Like, I don't reckon Melbourne are that good.
Huge. I tend to agree with you. I don't think defensively they're that good.
And also, I reckon Penrith. See, I just reckon that, like, we saw how bad Penrith started last year, right? They were last after round 12. There is no doubt that their emphasis this year was starting fast. I have no doubt they'll be 10-0.
Huge.
Want to know Nathan Cleary's last 3 scores against the Melbourne Storm? Say no if you want.
I bet he got one of them. He would have got knocked out.
He did. 74 last year, round 24. The one before that last year was the 2-pointer in round 3, and then the year before that, round 1, 36.
Different Storm team now, though.
Let's ride and die, Matty.
I'm going Cleary.
All right.
Gonna look into the eye of the storm. I love it. All right. Anything else to touch on, gentlemen?
Nah.
That seems unnecessary in the show notes, Matthew.
What?
Delete yawn at 1:23. Was that about me or him?
That was you.
Fuck.
But it was an hour 23. It was literally like 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, it hurts.
I'm just going to keep it now.
Yeah, keep it in.
It's in
I think
there.
it's
I'll go
funny.
back and look at it.
Did I yawn on camera?
Well, Timmy was talking, and
That makes sense why I was yawning.
well, I'm like, I have to anticipate when one of you were going to talk, and it sounded like he was wrapping up, and I went too early.
Fuck, can't win them all. Hurts. Enjoy that yawn. That's good gear. We are Dunsky.
Yep.
It has been a pleasure as always. Matty will be joining us for the next few weeks, which is exciting. Always good to see him. Sponsors reach out, bizandbreakevens@gmail.com if you are interested. A lot of exciting things coming up. We are going to maybe look into some hats for Magic Round. I don't know. Maybe. No promises.
No promises, but
There might be promises.
yeah.
There might be promises. We will see you next week here on Biz and Breakevens.